Welcome to the Board Game Closet. My name's Jimmy, and today I'm going to talk about Gen Con 2021 and all the stuff that I bought this year. I'm so excited to show this off. I didn't buy a ton of games, but I bought a few games and a few expansions and a few accessories, and I'll tell you why I did that. So we're going to start out with the small things. I got a duck from Quackalope. Thanks, Quackalope, for giving me a duck. I ran into him. And then what else did I get? So I got this upgrade to, it says Quacks of Quedlenberg, but it's not. It's actually the expansion or the upgrade pieces to Targi. And I don't know if you played that game, but this was like 20 bucks, I think. But it came with all these cool metal upgrades, and if you know the game Targi, then you know this is just so much cooler than the cardboard pieces that come in the game. And a little tip about going to conventions: this is the time to pick up stuff like this because it is harder to find locally. I don't know if they just don't, if this is like exclusive to Board Game Geek or whatever, but anyways, the point I'm trying to make is that if you're at a convention, I didn't have to pay shipping for this. So this was 20 bucks, and if I would have bought it and they had to ship it to me, it would have been 30 bucks, and then I would have said, no way, I'm not paying 30 bucks for some pieces. The second thing that I got was, this is from Grand Gamers Guild. This is an escape room. The Pumpkin Problem. So there you go. That's a pretty cool little thing. And then one of the coolest experiences ever was picking up Skull King. This is by Grandpa Beck's Games. And this is their new version of Skull King. So I think they went through and like redid tons of the artwork. And so a lot of their games, they redid them and they hired somebody outside the family to do all the artwork. And it is so cool. And so not only did I pick up the game, but we got to, maybe I'll get Jordan to put it in the video, but like we got to take a photo with Grandpa Beck himself, and his phone number, is this crazy? But his phone number is on the rule book, and if you have a question, you can call or text him. And so we told him that we were going to text him at 1 a.m. And he said, I'm not going to respond at 1 a.m. But he actually did because he was awake because it's Gen Con, right? And so anyways, that was pretty cool. My badge came off. Next thing that I got that will go along with a smaller thing was Garento. This is also from Grand Gamers Guild. And this is an abstract strategy game that has some really cool pieces in it. So it reminds me of back in the day, there was this game called Upwards. And so it's these little pieces that stack on top of each other. And so the game is a very abstract. It is an abstract, and all that it is just moving these things around and scoring in different ways. And it was very interesting to me because this is the see all those cards right there? That is all the different ways that you could score points in the game, and you only use 2 of them in a game. This is like unlimited replayability here. There's like no way you're gonna run through all of these and have the same exact kind. And anyways, I just thought that that was really cool, and it makes the gameplay pretty interesting. And so while I was there, back to my point that I made a minute ago, was I picked up the 5 and 6 or 5th player expansion. I think 5 players, yeah. 5th player expansion to it, so it came with extra tiles and an extra player board, and so I had to get that because I didn't want to pay extra for that later. And I'm crazy glad that I picked all this up because by the end of the convention they were sold out of this, and so that was pretty cool. So shout out to Grand Gamers Guild. Another thing that I actually didn't pick up at the con, but we played at the con. And I mention it because On the Rocks sold out at Gen Con. So this was a game that was there, and they went through every copy that they had. And I brought this with us to play, and we loved it. This is just a fun... if you've played the other marble game, I can't think of it right now, Potion Explosion, you're going to go there in your mind because there are marbles and you're putting them in there and you're trying to make recipes for these drinks. And so it's, I mean, I don't want to get into it too much, but it's just a really cool, the artwork on this is great. The components on this are like out of this world. I don't know if this is the deluxe version that we got sent, but just these boards, you stick the marbles in here, and then it's got these cups. and you put the marbles in them. It's just super, super nice, and the gameplay was really smooth. It is not a complicated game. You're not going to spend hours playing this. I think maybe an hour for our first game of learning it, but anyways, it's a great game, a lot of fun, and if you can find a copy of it, I would recommend picking it up. So that's on the rocks. Another one that I got was Juicy Fruits. I've heard a lot of good things about this game, and so Capstone Games, believe it or not, had a discount at Gen Con, which never happens. Like, you almost always pay full MSRP. Like, somebody asked online before Gen Con, can I expect to get deals at the con? And I was like, no way, you can't expect to get any deals because, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then Capstone Games was running a discount. So I think I paid $40 for this, or 30. It was $10 off whatever MSRP is. And so I said I'm picking this up, and it looks super cool. The artwork on this is great, and it's just cool mechanism of how you collect things, slide, score, harvest, all this stuff. It just looks like a fun game, and I am going to dive into this one. It's still got the shrink wrap on it. And then last but not least is Almanac. This, again, is not a new game, and we'll talk about that whole new hotness here in a second, but this was a game that I've heard a lot about because what's cool about this one is it comes with a little almanac. So this is a worker placement game that you put all your people out there, and then at the end, you decide where you're going to go. Okay, now we're going to go to number 3. And so you fast forward to number 3, and now you play on this board, and then 6 or 7, and so you go to the next one. And so all of the locations, how all that works is totally different. It looks like a very smart, cool idea. It's got some cool, fun pieces, and I picked up the extra stretch expansion with this, and so I paid whatever for this, like 60, and then I got the expansion added on, and I picked it up all while I was there. I'm staying faithful to my plan of picking up extra stuff so I don't have to pay additional shipping, and this one looks great. Okay, so that's all that I got at Gen Con. That is all of my stuff that I picked up or I played, and I'm super happy about it. Now, I was telling you about, and this is like an expansion to a game that we played and didn't end up buying. So sorry, demo team. You did a great job, but we didn't pick up the game. But what I was going to say is that this year it was kind of unique at Gen Con where I picked up games that weren't even necessarily brand new. I think Garento's brand new. Juicy Fruits might be new, but nothing that I picked up was like revealed at Gen Con or came out at Gen Con. And that was the different thing this year, is that there wasn't a lot of hype on, oh man, you got to go get this game. And that has everything to do with COVID. That has everything to do with the shipping crisis that's going on right now. There just wasn't a lot of new, fresh, crazy, hyped up games. And to be honest, I missed it and I didn't miss it. I missed it because like every year it's kind of the cool hotness. And then I did miss it because I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to pick up that game and I wanted to pick up this one. And I've heard great things about that one. So I picked up all these other games that I've heard about because I wasn't so much worried about the hype and the newness. And so good and bad, take it for what it is. So there you go. That's my Gen Con haul 2021. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.